In the previous episode of Explore Mongolia, we visited the magnificent Altai Tavmbog mountain, our main destination. We have to hurry up if we want to make it there before dark. This is a land full of secrets and natural wonders, echoes of the past waiting for you to visit and learn about their legacy. This is Bayan-Ulgii Province of Mongolia. In this episode of Explore Mongolia, hunting with golden eagles. This is what distinguishes Mongolian Kazakhs from everyone else in the world. Tradition is an essential part of nomadic life, for it is the only thing that will define us in this world. To learn more about this astonishing culture and tradition of the Kazakh people, stay tuned to MNB World channel. We have arrived at a family we're supposed to visit in the middle of the night. It is heavily raining outside and we had to find a place to take shelter, and this family welcomed us when we asked for a road, and they are treating us like family. It's quite amazing how you can expect this much hospitality from a total stranger. So take a look for yourself. Even though it was very late, the family got up and prepared some food for us. This is the hospitality that you will be given when you come to Mongolia. The next morning, I woke up and took a close look at the gyr. A Kazakh gyr is called a yurt. This Mongolian traditional dwelling is designed with portability and comfort in mind. Of course, tent is more portable, but it will be blown away by a strong wind and cannot be used during the winter. Whereas Mongolian gyr, on the other hand, can withstand any weather and is even earthquake-proof. A Kazakh yurt is the same, but also different from Mongolian gyr. Let's start from the size of the gyr. Just from the size, you can guess how many members the family has. Gyrs are always built facing south, and it is a good way to find your directions if you're confused when traveling. Right from the start, the door handle is on the left side. The door on a Mongolian gyr has a handle on the right side. It was quite interesting for me because Mongolian gyrs did not have a door until a few hundred years ago. So when did this tradition start? Before doors were used, usually a piece of animal hide or a felt was used instead of a door. When you're inside, you don't have to bend down when standing upright, because a Kazakh yurt is much taller than a Mongolian gyr. The reason behind this are the poles called un are bent at the end. Interestingly enough, the stove was facing the door. Mongolians face their stove to the left side of the gyr, and when I asked why did they do it like this, locals did not give me any special reasons, because that's just how Kazakh people place their stoves. The next interesting thing is the shape of the ton. I like to call it the skylight because there is no proper translation of ton. Some people might recognize this shape as the symbol on the flag of Kyrgyzstan. Mongolian gyrs have a different shaped roof, usually with 6 windows. The last and most interesting difference was that Kazakh yurts usually do not have a pillar, whereas Mongolian gyr has 2 pillars. Of course, taller Kazakh gyrs sometimes have a single pillar. Be mindful that you do not step on the doorstep when you enter a gyr. A gyr is considered a kingdom, and it would be like stepping on the sacred border if you step on the doorstep.
Hunting with golden eagles is a Kazakh tradition that goes back at least 2 millennia. However, falconry itself has a history of over 6 millennia and was practiced mainly by nomads. This practice has been perfected and passed down to us. I learned how to hunt with eagles from my father. My father learned it from my grandfather and so forth. It is what defines us. Hunting with golden eagles was exclusive to Mongolian Kazakhs living in Bayan-Ulgii up until recently. Kazakhstan revived the tradition, although there are only a handful of eagle trainers. To train eagles, we take a 1-year-old female chick from its nest. The reasoning being is because female bald eagles are bigger in size and are more loyal than males. They can weigh up to 7 kilograms when they fully grown and have a wingspan of up to 2.3 meters. We train them during the summer months. They first get used to the horses and dogs. It is not easy to train an eagle, and it takes a lot of time and effort. It takes at least 2 months of training to hunt with a 1-year-old eagle. We keep one eagle for up to 5 to 6 years. The maximum would be up to 10 years. Although golden eagles can live to well over 30 years, Kazakh hunters release them early so that they can still cope with the wilderness and not be entirely dependent on humans. We usually hunt foxes or rabbits with eagles. They have unbelievably sharp vision, and I highly doubt if there is any other animal with better sight than eagles. They can even see things that are over 10 kilometers away. They are truly magnificent animals. Unfortunately, we don't hunt during summer times, so tourists get to witness the hunting with eagles firsthand when they visit Bayan-Ulgii during the Golden Eagle Festival. This eagle is 3 years old, and its name is Tastulek. I usually let my eagles go when they are 6 years old. When released, golden eagles don't return. But on a very rare occasions, they return. But that's maybe 1 in a million cases. After releasing the eagle, we go looking for another nest to take 1-year-old eagle to train. I have 2 sons. I will teach them how to train and hunt with eagles. It is one of the best things for a male child to learn. We usually teach our children when they are over 10 years old or around 13. Before that, they don't have the muscles needed to hold up the eagle. I always think that I will teach everything I know to my sons. How to ride a horse, how to herd livestock, how to hunt with eagles, the culture and tradition of our people. Our family has 150 years of eagle hunting history, and we will continue to train eagles. It's been 8 years since I learned how to train eagles, and I will teach everything I know to my sons. I'm confident that my kids will continue our legacy.
Women wake up early in the morning to milk the cows. Milk is an essential part of nomadic diet. Various kinds of dairy products such as addles and arts are what keeps their teeth so strong and white. This is the real organic product that can give you pearly white teeth. It would be rare to see herders drinking plain tea. Milk tea is the preferred beverage throughout the day for nomads. It is much more nutritious and you can add various things to it. Milk tea with dumplings, some dried meat, and rice is like a fully served meal. At first glance, tourists might refrain from trying out the milk tea, but I assure you, it will not mess up your stomach like fermented mare milk, so do not worry about it and just give it a try. We suddenly received news that we have been invited to a celebration. One of the family members of our host is moving out and starting a new life. A truly joyous occasion. When we arrived, the celebration was already in full swing. As I mentioned before, Kazakhs keep close ties with their extended families and are very tribal society. Everyone from the tribe and relatives gather around for a celebration. Elders of the tribe are the most honored guests and were sitting at the top. As guests from afar, we were seated next to the elders, a great honor for us. We were treated to various kinds of traditional meals, pastries, and dairy products. The main course meal of the celebration was mutton. People wash their hands and gather around for the meal. In Kazakh tradition, everyone shares from one big plate. Hosts were worried about us not eating enough, so they constantly checked up on us, especially on our cameraman, and asked if we ate enough. After the lunch, people were bringing out music. After all, what is a celebration without music? Hosts brought out their dombra and started singing beautiful traditional songs, and just as I expected, they sang songs about horses, the heart of nomadic culture.
Ötüp bara жатқан ай Естасаудай ауыздығын шайнаған Қыз дауылда көкпар тартып ойнаған Не тұрса да иқар салдым да таймаған Sevildin şoğunday bob jaynagan Yeli güzel ötken sol bir şartaray Zamanının yendetip ötüp bara жатқан
Kazakh people are nomads. Our ancestors were nomads and our next generation will be nomads. We seek the best pasture for our livestock and migrate throughout the year. Livestock is our livelihood. Nomads migrate at least 4 times a year. During summer, we choose the best grazing grounds. In August, we move to our autumn encampment and stay there until around November. In November, we move to our winter encampment. We choose the least windy and cold location for the winter encampment. Usually, we build barns and other fences at the winter encampment and prepare grass for the winter beforehand. We move to our spring encampment around March. This is when livestock gives birth, so we have to keep our lookout for newborn animals and care for them. This is how our ancestors lived for millennia, and this is how nomads will continue to live. I am proud to have been born and raised in Mongolia. I am proud to be a nomad. Not a worry in the world, we have our livestock which provide us with everything. This year's summer was just perfect. We had plenty of rain and our livestock fattened up well. Of course, being a nomad is not an easy life. We have to take care of our livestock during the harshest storms and coldest winter nights. But herding livestock is one of the few occupations that truly rewards hard work. You can become a herder with 1,000 livestock starting from a handful if you work hard. Whereas if you are lazy, 1,000,000 livestock could be gone in one winter. This is what it means to be a nomad. Work hard and you will be rewarded. Respect nature and the nature will provide.
We are nomads, and being a nomad means that we have to be fully self-sufficient. Our ancestors did everything on their own. Nomadic women can make everything. I learned how to sew and make felt rugs since I was 15. My mother taught it to me and her mother taught it to her. Now I can make everything from clothes to rugs. I made almost every decorative curtain and rug you see in this gear. We always decorate our clothes with our traditional patterns. I will teach all this to my daughter. People always wonder how we do all this by hand without any machine. It takes time and dedication. A medium-sized curtain takes around 200 hours to finish. It's wonderful to take a look at it after all that hard work. Tourists who visited our family always take great interest in our traditional patterns and decorations. I think that I will teach my daughter how to sew clothes, weave curtains, make rugs, milk cows and everything else when she is 8 years old. Kazakh women are very hardworking and caring. I will cradle my daughter to be just like that. A proud Kazakh woman who can do anything.
We continued our journey and visited the Bakturn waterfall. 2 dogs of our host family escorted us to the waterfall, and it was the cutest thing in the world. To get to the waterfall, we walked for a while from the parking spot. These parts are called the Switzerland of Mongolia. How lucky are the people who live around these parts? Just a few kilometers from the Xinjiang-Uyghur Autonomous Region borders, you can find the Bakturn waterfalls. We have arrived at the Bakturn waterfall. This 14-meter waterfall is the biggest one in the western region. This is the biggest waterfall in the western province, falling down 15 meters, and it takes its source from the snow of the ever-snowy mountains. People rarely visit these parts, so you can experience true solitude from here. We had one more destination that we had to visit before returning to Ulaanbaatar. So we thanked our host family for the wonderful meal and the gracious celebration. Next day, we went off to Tsam mountain, the second highest mountain in Mongolia. Standing 4,174 meters above sea level, this ever-snowy mountain blessed us with sunlight soon. Local legends say that this mountain was named after the first person who scaled the mountain and reached the top. A man named Tsam reached the peak without any special equipment, and people say that it takes at least 4 days to reach the peak if you have proper equipment. If you love mountaineering, Bayan-Ulgii Province is the best destination for you, for there is a number of ever-snowy mountains that you can scale and prepare for your next mountain. To give you some perspective, Mount Everest is 8,848 meters above sea level. With this beautiful scene, we end our journey to Bayan-Ulgii Province. Through our episodes, you can plan your travel to Bayan-Ulgii Province of Mongolia. We are confident that you will experience much more than we covered in our episodes. Thank you for staying with us through our journey. See you on our next episode of Explore Mongolia.